Hello, everyone. I'm Erica Desper. As you probably already know, I'm on a mission to bring together the best local resources for families who need them. And I'm really excited today to have with me Pete Phillips, the owner of Full Spectrum Fitness. Pete, thank you for taking the time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so I found you for my own son, who everybody probably already knows our story, but I have a 13-year-old neurodivergent son. Parents who are watching, you probably know the struggle is real of getting them interested in physical activity, sticking with it, trying something new. Those are all really common challenges. The motivation, my son is not a team sport person, so it's really hard to find something that he wants to participate in that can get his body moving. So I came across Full Spectrum and figured we'd give it a try. And of course, we've had just a few sessions so far, but I want everyone to know about it because he really looks forward to it. And he's just so different when he comes out of it. I can tell he feels really confident, and more than that, and I don't have to drag him or force him, which is unusual. I always have to force activities. More than that, he just seems far more regulated when he walks out of there, and that lasts for a period of time, which is another thing that's hard to come by. So on a personal level, thank you. So in order to tell everybody else about what you're up to, first, just tell us about you. Introduce yourself. What's your background, and what made you want to do this?
Absolutely. Yeah, Jaden, I mean, he's amazing. He works so hard, and it's been great getting to know him. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I am Pete Phillips. I am the owner of Full Spectrum Fitness, but I started out really as just a phys ed person. I went to school for physical education. And when I was graduating, I had a few different options, but I had a friend in the Philadelphia area that was working as a paraprofessional in an autistic support classroom in the school districts. And he said, "Hey, they're hiring. Would you like to just do this?" It was December, so he said, "Just do it for the rest of the year." So I did it, and I really enjoyed it. Honestly, it was like my first introduction to any type of adaptive classroom or anything like that. And I really enjoyed it. And I immediately said, okay, how do I do this while doing phys ed? So I started looking adaptive phys ed, and eventually I wanted to become a phys ed teacher. And I did, but I also started a sports kind of skills program for the people that were really in the classroom. So the class we were working with, I started working with the students in there just after school, and I started to notice a little bit about what you were saying. A lot of the times, I think we go to team sports right away because it seems like the logical choice, but a lot of people had no real interest in playing those team sports, and they're complex and they move fast, and you need a foundation of strength and you need a foundation of movement to move that way. And I kind of just quickly realized, like, hey, why don't I just start strengthening your bodies and see where it goes? So you can we're having trouble shooting a basketball up to the 10-foot hoop. So if we strengthen the body a little bit, let's see what happens. And then I just kept going from there with the strength aspect and just stayed involved with everything. And here we are now. Full Spectrum Fitness was just kind of born in a little pathway that started with sports and ended with fitness.
Yeah. And how long have you been operating as Full Spectrum Fitness?
So as Full Spectrum Fitness, about probably 6 years. Before that, I was doing the sports part about 3 years. So almost 10 years now. I used to travel to people's homes to do the fitness. Then I started renting studio space in the area a couple of days a week. And now we're in our own space in Bala Cynwyd. Mm-hmm. And we'll see how much longer we're here. But we actually moved in on March 15, 2020. I opened the doors. And,
not knowing what was coming, right?
Yeah, not a great day to sign a lease, but we did it anyway, and we're still here. So.
Yeah, well, and another thing I know my son appreciates, we are taking advantage of the one-on-one training, which is, I think, how you have everyone start, but then there are other maybe shared options or small group options that he really enjoys. He learns best one-on-one. He processes very slowly, like you said. Both what he hears in terms of instructions and then also like what he's able to do physically. He's just slower. So that one-to-one is really he doesn't need to be nervous or intimidated. Nobody's watching. Nobody else is in the space. And I think that's been super helpful for him. So yes,
Absolutely.
you're in Bala Cynwyd. I was going to have you tell you where you're located, right on Bala Avenue. It's very convenient. There's parking on the street. So who is your, like, who are you serving? What are the different diagnoses that ages, and then also the diagnoses?
Yeah, so we really work with anyone that just needs extra support. That's the way I like to put it. Whether that's visual schedules or you just need the instructions kind of broken down a little bit more. I work with people. We work with people, really just neurodiverse individuals, anywhere from ages 8 to 55. I believe is the oldest person we work with, and I like to just say anyone that needs extra support maybe would benefit from the one-on-one setting, the private environment. So we talk to so many families, and we just kind of see if it's the right fit. So no specific diagnosis or anything. Just like I've said a few times, anyone that just needs that support and might just need it maybe taught differently or just slowed down, things like that.
Right. Which segues to my next question. Like, what do you feel it is that you do differently that makes what you offer such a good fit for the neurodivergent population?
The one-on-one setting is so important. I truly believe, like, we could get a lot of people in here all the time, but it would be really hard to make improvements that way. We really want to see the physical improvements, just building strength and stability and endurance, things like that. And a lot of the people that we do work with just they need it broken down into bits and pieces. They need it to go slow. They just need a positive environment where it's completely adapted for what you need. Some people, honestly, some people we need to clear everything out of the space for them to be successful. So we do that. Some people, it doesn't matter, but they need the visual checklist. Other people don't. So we really just make it exactly what you need for yourself to be successful and to feel that success. And once you feel success, you're going to start enjoying an activity, no matter what that is. So that's our goal, to just keep you coming back, because it's you can go anywhere in the world, I think, and no one's going to argue with you that exercise is good for you. I don't think. You never know. But there's a lot of things you can argue about, but exercise is just good for you, and we want to just keep you healthy and let you just kind of live a life that you're feeling good all the time.
Right. Well, and in the one-to-one, you're not comparing yourself to what anyone else is doing. I think that's another benefit of it. You can just take that out of your head, and that we can see a little bit of the visual, where you put the visual schedule behind you.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. I mean, for any person, but for a kiddo who's like, maybe, how long am I going to be here? Or, what are we going to do? I need more information. You just, when they arrive, it's all visually laid out, what exercises you're going to do. I know you use a timer a lot. So it's like, this isn't forever. There's an endpoint, and you can visually see that. There's a lot of things with lights that are interactive. And I know for my guy, it helps with that overwhelm of like, will this take long? Will I get too tired? Can I hang in there? But it also keeps them like engaged. We're done that activity. Let's move to the next one. So yeah, it's been really great.
It's all about, we just want to support everyone in the way they need it. That's really it. And we do small groups, but we try and keep that like pretty well matched. And we have a couple other trainers that work. We do dance classes too, which have been awesome. And that's also just broken down. I mean, I real quick, I'll share a story. Myself as a phys ed teacher, I used to be the person, when I was younger, I would stand in front of the classroom and say, okay, we're doing jumping jacks, and do jumping jacks. But since I've been doing it this way, you start to realize, like, jumping jacks, if you've never been taught how to do a jumping jack, that really means nothing to you. So we have to break it down, and we use a lot of spots on the ground and things like that. Just position your body, and we go slow through it. And that is what is so important about what we're doing, just really supporting you in the way you need it. Some people, we say do jumping jacks, and they've done them before and they know what to do, so we just do them. But other people, we take our time to learn them and build up.
Right. And I've also noticed you ask a lot of questions. My son prefers that I stay and be present, even though I've tried to leave him there. You ask, like, where are you feeling it in your body? Is anything hurting? Are you feeling tired? Like, sometimes I think our neurodivergent kids sort of lack that self-awareness, even just stopping to think about that, or to communicate it if they're noticing it. So I feel like it's not just fitness and confidence, it's even just learning, like, I should pay attention to my body. My body can tell me something,
Absolutely.
which is awesome. I'm sure that's not accidental, but I think it's another great benefit.
Well, thank you. I mean, yeah, like you're actually right. Like everything is planned out, and really, like your son's here or anyone, it's their exercise session. So we're not like forcing anyone to complete any exercises. If they want to make a change, we can make the change. It's okay. But it's also good, no matter how you communicate. We work with people that communicate in so many different ways, but it's really important to take the time to check in because it's their body, it's their session, and we would just want to make sure everyone's either able to let us know that or able to start to understand what those questions mean and things like that. Just learning the body sometimes.
Exactly. Awesome. And I was going to have you mention that there are other trainers, both genders, if that's a concern for anybody. And I'm sure everybody brings their own little style and background. And
absolutely. Yeah, we have 2 other trainers who work with us, and we have a dance instructor who also does 5 dance classes a week. And we're going to continue that into the fall, which has been great. So yeah, exactly. Everyone brings their own style, and that's also the nice thing. We're ourselves. And we want you to be yourself, no matter, what kind of day we're having. It's going to be positive, and we're just going to have a good time with it. So
awesome.
We'll go from there.
That's exactly how it feels. Your mission shows when you come to attend a session. Also, I wanted to ask about your upcoming social event, the walk.
Yes, we have. So today is the 19th of July. So on Sunday, we are doing Sunday the 23rd at 5 p.m. We're having just what we're calling a stride and socialize event. So because it's one-on-one mostly, the families and the participants don't get to interact much. And that's, there's a reason for that and everything, but we want to create a community. And it's been hard to do that in a sense the last couple of years, but we're going to start doing every month. We're going to be meeting up somewhere. We're going to kind of rotate towns and just walk or run or jog. You go at your own pace. It's not really a structured event.
Yeah.
So like if you need support, your family or friends can help support, but we'll be there just to meet everyone. And really it's for everybody, all the participants to meet each other. Your neighbor might be going.
Right.
So just the way it's set up, this is a good opportunity. So yeah, July 23rd at 5 p.m. on the Cynwyd Heritage Trail. We're going.
All right. Excellent. So if a parent's watching this or even an adult and they are interested, what is their first step?
So you can go to our website. We'll put it in, but it's fullspectrumfit.com. And really, you can just sign up for an assessment session. The first session's free. So you come in, you try it out. And it's really like we get to know you and you get to know us. Mm-hmm. And before coming, we ask a couple questions just to make sure. The reason we ask the questions is so that we can set the environment up in the way that is going to make you most successful. So we want you to come in and just have success right away. That looks different for everybody, but we want to make sure that we set the space up in the correct way for you. And once you come in for that assessment, we're really learning how you move and your physical fitness level. We're learning your learning style, really. So like, do you work well with certain types of supports versus others? And then we're just kind of learning how to motivate you and help you get through it and feel that confidence and things like that. Yeah. So the assessment session, you come in and then we talk a little bit at the end. And from there, we have people that come, most people come once a week. Some people come 3 times a week. And we just keep working at it from there. And it's not really a set program, so there's no length of time. I honestly believe that fitness is just a lifelong activity and something that's going to benefit you for the duration of your life and keep you healthy. So we just go as long as you are enjoying coming. We keep building.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, we're loving it so far. So I hope everybody else checks it out and loves it too. I love what you're doing personally and professionally. So I will share this with our audience. And thanks for taking the time to let everybody know. And just once again, that was fullspectrumfit.com.
Thank you.
Yep. Got it. Okay. Thank you, Pete.
Yeah. Thanks so much.